You eat well, you exercise, you feel fine, maybe even great. But what if I told you hidden inside your DNA could be silent signals of disease, signals no routine blood test or even physical could detect until it's too late? I'm Lucas, a PhD geneticist, and today I'm going to share with you 4 powerful stories where DNA and RNA-based testing didn't just change lives, it saved them. Stick around until the end, because the last story will change the way you think about DNA and aging. In 2013, actress Angelina Jolie shocked the world when she revealed that she had undergone a preventative double mastectomy. As far as she knew, she didn't have a disease, no tumors, no symptoms. But her DNA told a very different story of what may come. A genetic test revealed that she had a BRCA1 mutation, giving her an 87% lifetime risk of breast cancer and a nearly 50% risk of ovarian cancer. She didn't wait for disease to strike. She acted and likely saved her own life. And here's the scary part. Around 1 in 20 people carry mutations like this that predisposes them to the likes of cancers and cardiac diseases. Most will never find out until it's too late. This is where the power of whole genome sequencing comes in. The test scans your whole genome, including all 20,000 genes, finding inherited risks for cancer, sudden cardiac death, neurological diseases, and more. It can even reveal how your body processes medications or calculate your risk for common diseases like type 2 diabetes and Alzheimer's. Chris Hemsworth, yes, Thor, recently found out he carries genetic variants that raise his risk for Alzheimer's disease. Without DNA testing, he would have likely never known. Now, let's talk more about cancer, since it's the second leading cause of death. Like many chronic diseases, when someone develops cancer, the timing of diagnosis is critical. When cancer is caught early, survival rates skyrocket. But if it's caught after symptoms appear, it's often too late. That's where the Gallery test comes in. This revolutionary DNA-based test scans for over 50 types of cancers, including 12 of the deadliest ones that account for 2/3 of cancer deaths. If you're wondering, this is how it works. Cancer cells leave behind DNA fragments in your bloodstream, called cell-free DNA. Normally, cell-free DNA comes from your healthy cells, but tumor DNA looks different. And it's these different DNA molecules that the Gallery test detects. Initial trials in large populations have shown remarkable results, including a 43% positive predictive value, meaning that nearly half of positives are real cancers caught early, and a 98.5% negative predictive value, meaning that if the test says you're clear, odds are overwhelmingly high that you're cancer-free. That's an astonishing 4 out of 10 people catching cancer early, people who otherwise may have never known. While it currently costs around $900 and most insurances won't cover it yet, the price will likely fall as it's more widely adopted and the technology advances. Now let's switch gears a bit. What if the answers to your health risks aren't just in your DNA, but they're also in your microbiome? Actor Michael Douglas made headlines when he revealed that he had oral cancer, likely linked to an HPV infection. Oral cancers are notoriously deadly because they're often caught too late. The 5-year survival rate is only about 40%, but it jumps to 84% when the cancer is detected early. The challenge is that most oral cancers don't show symptoms until it's too late. This is where determining the bacterial and viral makeup of your oral and gut microbiome looks very promising. This is typically done by sequencing RNA, the cousin of DNA, from the bacteria and viruses in the microbiome. A breakthrough study showed that analyzing saliva samples with next-generation sequencing and AI can accurately detect oral cancers and even precancerous changes. The technology looks at the metatranscriptome, the RNA messages of your microbes, capturing not just which species are present, but what they're actively doing. The results showed sensitivity over 80% overall and over 92% for stage 1 cancers, with specificity nearly 98%. In other words, a simple saliva test could catch oral cancer at its earliest, most curable state. And it doesn't stop there. Gut microbiome RNA tests are already being used to predict predict risks for obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even how your body responds to food. Imagine a future where brushing your teeth in the morning could also tell you if cancer is silently growing in your mouth, or if your toilet could test your gut microbes to tell you about your colorectal cancer risk or what to include in your diet. This is not science fiction. The technology is already here. Before Bryan Johnson became known as the millionaire trying to slow down aging, he was on a fast track to an early death. After selling his first company, he was depressed, overweight, eating poorly, not sleeping, and barely exercising. He described himself as unhealthy and miserable. He had the money, but not the health. And he knew that without serious change, his body would break down years, maybe even decades, too early. That's when he turned to a radical experiment, not just changing his lifestyle, but measuring everything about his biology to fight back against aging. One of his most powerful tools isn't a pill or a procedure, it's a DNA-based test called an epigenetic clock. These clocks measure chemical tags known as methylation marks on your DNA. They act like a dimmer switch, turning your genes on or off. The patterns they form can estimate your biological age, how fast you're aging, and your disease risk. In one landmark study using the Dunedin Pace clock, people whose biological age was older than their actual age were far more likely to die young or develop heart disease, even if they looked perfectly healthy. Let that sink in. You can compare two people that are the same age, even similar lifestyles, but their biological ages differ drastically. Studies are showing we have the technology to tell which one will have a healthier and longer life. Epigenetic testing became a way to also see whether his extreme health protocol was actually working, and the field is exploding. There are also clinical-grade epigenetic tests, such as the EpiSign, that detect unique methylation signatures to help diagnose rare conditions like narcolepsy or adult-onset attacks. We're not just measuring aging anymore. We're uncovering hidden risks written into our DNA's software. So what do we learn from all these stories? Angelina Jolie's DNA tests show the power of prevention. The Gallery test proves that cancer can be caught before symptoms appear. Oral and gut microbiome RNA tests reveal hidden disease risks in our microbes. And epigenetic clocks show us how fast we're aging and which interventions can slow it down. If you're serious about your health, especially if you're over 40 or have a family history of disease, don't wait for symptoms. Talk to your medical provider and start taking a closer look at your DNA. It could save your life. And if you want to see why I believe whole genome sequencing may be the most powerful predictive health test of the 21st century, watch this video.